Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, what I would like to shed light on is a topic that isn't well known or talked about in today's society, and that is how men are basically viewed and treated as second class parents in society's eyes. And I'm going to be giving some solutions on what I view as what's best to put an end to this problem. And I would like to ask the audience to do certain things to help bring awareness or help end this problem as it is. So let's start off with the problem, and that would be how in today's society men are still viewed as financial providers when that necessarily isn't always the case. With females nowadays, they're more career driven and always going after money. They earn more, and they aren't necessarily stay-at-home mothers, yet they are always, well, most of the time, awarded custody or majority custody of the child if the two parents split. So this isn't necessarily what's best for the child, because the father could be the one who's more emotionally, compatible with the child, and who could, help raise the child to be a stand-up citizen. When the mother is, might be always at work, can't spend enough time with the child, yet the father is the one who's going to also have to pay child support to the mother, because, the mother might need help financially, and that's fine. Yeah, but that might not be what's best for the child. And sometimes the court doesn't take this into consideration because they don't think that we have evolved emotionally. But men over time have become more, sympathetic and less aggressive, and they're more able to express their emotion. But society kind of overlooks that in a sense and don't take that into consideration when giving custody to the parents. Another problem that plagues men as parents would be paternity. So, as a female, you know whether or not the child is yours the minute that you have it, because you carried it. It's your child. You can't carry another woman's child unless you're a surrogate, and that you talk about, and then you know that it's not your child. But as a man, you have to take the woman's word at face value when that's not always the truth. So you have to trust your partner a lot, and this could end up hurting you in the process, because let's just say, for instance, you go 8 years wondering whether or not your son is yours. You love this child with all your heart. You think that this child is going to be your legacy. But you just finally get that urge to just, put that trouble to rest. So you go and get yourself a paternity test, and you find out you are not the biological father. And now your heart is crushed. You start looking at your wife different, and the child also has to suffer because now he has to be without a father. If you do choose to leave, and if you choose to stay, you could have some resentment towards the kid, even though the kid did nothing. Like, the kid has no idea of what the mother has done. The kid has no choice in what the mother has done. So the kid ultimately ends up suffering for some mistake that he never made. And there's also many different things when it comes to being like a biological father or not. So let's just say that, you and your wife divorce. The wife can essentially get full custody because you're not the biological father, you're just the legal father. And the biological father has a legal right to see his child because that's what society is given. But the legal father still has to pay child support even though the child isn't theirs. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems pretty messed up to me. So, some solutions that I would like to give for these situations would be, having mandatory paternity tests before the baby is, fully developed, so that you can know whether or not you have to either leave your partner or how you're going to move forward, whether or not you want to be in this child's life, whether you want to stay with the partner after finding out she essentially cheated on you and has been hiding it for quite some time. So another thing that you could do would be to just, stay away from women and adopt children. That way those children are legally yours, but maybe you want a legacy and that might not be the best situation. Or you could be completely abstinent, cut all females out of your life and, never adopt a child. But this is a sad and lonely choice in some people's eyes, but to some people this might be the greatest decision. So as the audience, I would like to ask you guys to please just consider what you guys do before, having this big commitment on your hands. A child isn't just some 18-year contract. It is you bringing in another human into this world, and that human you have to care for, love, and make sure that it becomes an amazing person in the future. And some people don't usually take this into consideration. They just no, this is infatuation or lust with the person at the time. Like, you could be in some 2-year relationship. Oh, I think I love you, but you guys aren't fully committed to each other. So you guys need to be considerate and think about the decisions that you're making. Another thing would be to write some emails to the court talking about these injustices that men are facing and how you don't believe that this is the right thing to do. And there are also different types of ways to support men who are going through these things. There are safe spaces that you could give positive feedback and input, and how you can support these men who are going through tough times. So with all that being said, I would just like to say thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and hopefully we can help make a difference and bring light to this so that men can finally start being viewed as equals when it becomes time to be a parent. And just I want men to start caring more about what they do with their lives, because it's not just your life you're impacting, you're also impacting the child's. So just be careful, and thank you for your time.